All right, we are going to go over the 2 kettlebell clean, possibly my favorite 2 kettlebell exercise out there. Only thing that might top it is like a push press or press. That being said, 2 kettlebell cleans are super important and fundamental for a lot of body recomposition, muscle growth, conditioning. The effect is tremendous. It's a total body movement. You're legit putting a ton of load on your entire body. And I like it better than the 2 kettlebell snatch because you can load it a lot easier. So you get a lot more load with it. So you get a lot more leg action and the torso load and just conditioning effect. That's tough to beat, especially when you start mixing in your push press, your jerks, your presses, like long cycle, all that kind of stuff. Can be used for conditioning, can be used for strength, can be used for hypertrophy. Water's your oyster. Now, if you have not watched the one-handed clean video yet, go watch that. Get the fuck out of here. If you've seen that and you've got the one-handed clean down and you feel comfortable with it, you can move on to the 2 kettlebell clean. Catch about the 2 kettlebell clean is you got to remember that you are using 2 bells, so the weight doubles, right? Similar to with a 2 kettlebell swing, you are going to see that it gets really hard really quick because that weight really adds up. You know, every time you move up a bell size, you're not moving up 4 kilos, you're moving up 8 kilos, right? That makes a big difference. With this, it's the same principle. The hips drive, the arms guide. So if you have a good one-handed clean, 2 kettlebell clean is going to be super easy. If your one-handed clean is decent, this 2 kettlebell clean might actually be a little bit easier because with that extra weight, you have a lot more room to drive the hips harder and guide the bells a little bit easier because there's, more weight now that it kind of masks and covers up if you're overdriving through the hips and overextending. So be mindful of that if you're getting into this, that you're not really overextending the hips or putting too much juice into it and those bells are starting to swing up. Understand that might be why. The way it works, exactly how you would imagine. You get set up, slightly wider stance, just like our 2 kettlebell swing. Same movement as your one-handed clean. Good swing setup. You're going to hike the bells, hips drive, arms guide. Hands go towards the hips like we're drawing out 6 shooters, and we smoothly roll into that rack position like so. Nice and easy. You'll notice I'm not jerking the bells, popping them up. I'm just letting them fall as best I can, waiting for the hands to splash at the hips before we dive back at the zipper. That's the 2 kettlebell clean. From the side, looks exactly like a heavy-ass version of your one-handed clean. Like so. Again, we're driving that force vertical. We're not driving the hips forward as much. Hips drive, arms guide, same principles. Super simple and definitely gets you fucking out of breath. Like I said, as a conditioning tool, heavy sets of 5 will get you right. You do sets of 10 if you want hypertrophy and to hate yourself. Make sure that you're using lighter weights because you will feel the burn in your arms. If you're doing them properly, you won't feel your arms doing all the work, but you will feel your arms get the pump when you start to get into the higher reps because that's where the fatigue is going to set in first, right? You look at smaller muscles, fatigue faster than bigger muscles. Your arms are actually doing a lot of the work in terms of the guiding and the deceleration on the way down. So your grip and your biceps take a beating when you get into 5+ reps with these. And you're going to feel that it starts to get a little janky and kind of sloppy because your arms aren't able to create the same amount of force to guide them and tame that arc. So be very mindful of that if you want to get into higher reps, that the conditioning aspect is a real thing and your arms will give out before your legs do. So keep that in mind, but enjoy one of my favorite exercises. Super stoked to see you guys grow with it. 2 kettlebell clean. Catch you in the next video.